Welcome back to Madrid Pulse, your home for all the latest and most exciting updates about Real Madrid. If you love staying up to date with everything happening around Los Blancos, from transfers to injuries, from incredible wins to behind-the-scenes news, then this is the place for you. Today we bring you an important update about one of the club's most important players, Jude Bellingham, whose recovery has given Madridistas some much-needed hope. Jude Bellingham has quickly become a talisman for Real Madrid since his arrival. His goals, leadership, and determination on the pitch made him one of the most decisive players of last season. But unfortunately, the Englishman has had to face one of the biggest challenges of his young career. After struggling for more than a year with shoulder pain, Bellingham was forced to undergo surgery this summer. The injury had been limiting his performance and at times even prevented him from playing at 100%. For a player who thrives on intensity, power, and constant involvement in every action, this was simply not sustainable. Following Real Madrid's elimination from the FIFA Club World Cup in July, the club's medical staff and the player himself decided it was finally time to solve the problem once and for all. The operation was a success, but as expected, it came with a recovery timeline of around 3 to 4 months. That meant Bellingham would be absent for some of the most crucial matches in the first half of the season. His absence is undoubtedly significant for Xabi Alonso, who has to figure out a way to structure his strongest starting 11 without one of the team's most influential midfielders. For a coach who just took charge, losing such a key figure so early into the campaign is a tough challenge. However, there is finally some positive news for Madrid fans. Just 30 days after undergoing surgery, Bellingham has already returned to the training pitch in Valdebebas. Images showed him jogging separately from the group, taking his first steps toward a full recovery. It may still be early, but this progress is a huge boost for the team and the fans alike. Seeing the young star back on the grass, even if only doing light individual work, represents hope and determination. It shows how hungry Bellingham is to come back as soon as possible and help the team again. Still, Real Madrid will not take any unnecessary risks. The medical staff and Alonso are in full agreement that the most important thing is for Bellingham to return at 100%. The club does not want him to rush because playing with pain or coming back too soon could only worsen the situation. Madridistas can be confident that when he finally returns, he will be ready to play with the same energy and intensity that made him a star last season. During his absence, other players will need to step up. Alonso has alternatives such as Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler, and even the exciting new signing Franco Mastantuono. Each of them brings different qualities, but none can replicate exactly what Bellingham offers. Still, this is an opportunity for others to shine and prove that they can carry responsibility in such a big team. The bad news is that Bellingham will most likely miss some of the most important matches of the early season. The Madrid derby against Atletico Madrid is scheduled for the weekend of September 28th at the Santiago Bernabeu, and it is almost certain that the Englishman will not be fit in time to play. Missing a derby is always painful, both for the player and for the fans, as these are the games that define a season. Even more concerning is the possibility that Bellingham may also not be ready for El Clasico against Barcelona at the end of October. While the recovery timetable suggests he could return around that period, it is very unlikely he will be at peak fitness after such a long absence. Additionally, Bellingham will also miss the start of the UEFA Champions League group stage. These opening matches are usually decisive for gaining momentum in the competition, and Real Madrid will have to get through them without one of their most dangerous players. Fortunately, the squad is deep, and with the quality Alonso has at his disposal, the team is expected to remain competitive even without their star midfielder. The good thing for Madridistas is that everything seems to be on the right track. The fact that Bellingham is already jogging 1 month after his operation is a positive sign that his recovery is progressing faster than expected. His commitment, combined with the professionalism of Real Madrid's medical staff, means the club can be confident of seeing him back before the year ends. When he does return, he will not only bring goals and creativity, but also the leadership and fighting spirit that have made him a fan favorite. Madrid fans will have to be patient, but this recovery is about ensuring a long and successful career at the club for Jude Bellingham. When he finally steps back onto the pitch at the Santiago Bernabeu, it will feel like a new signing, and the roar of the fans will remind him just how much he has been missed. Until then, the team must continue fighting, and the supporters must stand behind them, knowing that one of their brightest stars is already on his way back. The transfer market continues to move at full speed, and Real Madrid finds itself making important decisions about the squad. While much of the attention has been on players like Rodrigo Goes, Dani Ceballos, Ferland Mendy, and David Alaba, a new and somewhat unexpected name has entered the spotlight in recent hours. Fran Garcia. The left-back, formed in the club's academy, was not initially considered transferable by the White Club. However, the situation has shifted, and the club's stance is now clear. If an offer reaches 30 million euros, the transfer could happen. This figure has been set as non-negotiable by President Florentino Perez and General Director José Ángel Sánchez. The promotion of young Álvaro Carreras to the first team has influenced this scenario. Carreras has quickly impressed Xabi Alonso early in the season and is now in contention for a regular starting role on the left side of defense. This has left Fran Garcia in a delicate position, starting once again as a substitute despite the trust Alonso showed him during the Club World Cup. According to Defensa Central, Xabi Alonso still values Garcia's presence and has reminded the player that the season will be long and full of important matches, meaning rotation will be necessary. However, those in Madrid's boardroom are aware that when a player's role begins to diminish, thoughts about a potential move can arise, especially if attractive offers come in, offering both better financial terms and the promise of more minutes on the pitch. In a recent interview, Fran Garcia expressed his dedication to the team, stating, "I work to be ready whenever I have the opportunity to play. I finished the last season well and want to keep growing. We can all improve, and that will help the team." These words underline his commitment, yet football careers are full of unexpected changes, and if Carreras firmly establishes himself, Garcia may reassess his future before the transfer window closes. Real Madrid's position is straightforward. Fran Garcia is not on the market unless a club meets the exact condition of paying the full 30 million euros. The valuation reflects the belief that the player still has room for development and that his playing style fits the club's identity. Meanwhile, Ferland Mendy is in a very different situation, as he is no longer in Alonso's plans and is actively available for transfer. Over recent seasons, Fran Garcia has increased his market value thanks to his reliability, pace, stamina, and attacking contribution from the flank. These qualities have caught the eye of several Premier League and Serie A clubs searching for long-term fullback solutions. At 26 years old, Garcia fits the profile of an investment for both present and future. The key question remains whether Garcia himself will push for a move. For now, he continues to work hard to earn Alonso's trust, but the competitive nature of the squad could push him toward considering other options. For Madrid, any departure would only happen under ideal conditions: full payment of the asking price and enough time to secure a replacement. While Álvaro Carreras has earned the coach's confidence, the club still values Garcia's experience in the system and his tactical understanding. Alonso wants him to remain part of the rotation, especially given the demanding schedule across La Liga, the Champions League, and the Copa del Rey. As things stand, the most likely outcome is for Fran Garcia to remain at Real Madrid unless an offer meets the 30 million euro requirement. The club's stance is firm, but the transfer market is unpredictable, and a single phone call with the right conditions could change everything. Until then, Garcia will continue fighting for minutes, determined to prove he can be more than just a backup. The decision, ultimately, will rest on whether commitment outweighs opportunity, or whether the lure of a new challenge proves too strong.